Hello guys, I'm Annie Otoku, and welcome to my review of One Piece, chapter 1044. Okay, I may have got this chapter spoiled to me, but it was still so hype. So starting with the cover page, it's some of the bigger mum siblings about to do experiments on Ninji and Yonji. This cover series has been a bit boring so far. It may pick up and who knows, it may become interesting, but yeah, so far it's been quite simple. Okay, so the chapter opens with what I think is Luffy saying, "Why can I still stand? Even though I lost, I'm having fun." And obviously, because of this new gear, which we'll get to in a minute, Luffy's obviously always really happy, at least when he's in this form, and laughing. And I think it fits his character quite well, since he's normally quite happy and cheerful anyway. It just kind of ups it to the next level, so I don't think it messes his character up too much. And obviously, as Yamato's riding Momo just says, "Luffy is Joy Boy." Now, I'm not exactly sure what this means. It's obviously Luffy got Joy Boy's fruit, as it seems. But, I don't know, maybe Luffy's like the reincarnation of Joy Boy. That's how I took it to mean, since he's obviously not straight up Joy Boy. But I do think he's like either the reincarnation, or maybe, you know, the fruit contains Joy Boy's will, something like that. We then get to see everyone's reactions. We see Law, Kid, Sanji, Toma and Nomi, Marco, everyone's there. And this scene left me a little bit confused, because it's like, okay, how do they know that Luffy's still alive? Because they're like, oh, Luffy's still alive, oh good, and they all suddenly notice. I don't know if they can sense Luffy's hockey, or if it's like the drums from his awakened devil fruit, because they mentioned that earlier in the chapter. But yeah. We then cut over to a sacred marine tour with the Gorosei, and firstly they're just kind of talking about like, hey, why did we do that? All that happened was Kaido won and we lost one of our best agents, obviously referring to the chapter previous where the CP9 member went up and made Luffy lose in his fight with Kaido. And one of the Gorosei essentially says, "What if I told you there was a way worse outcome that could have happened?" We get some interesting news here that the world government has been searching for Luffy's devil fruit that we thought was the Gamu Gamu no Mi, but we'll find out in a second it wasn't. You know, that they've been searching for it, but for 800 years it keeps escaping them, which I thought was really interesting. They bring up the fact that Zoans might have a will of their own, and that's really interesting. I don't know if there's like, I don't think it's like a full-on animal living in the fruit. I think it's just more like they got maybe a bit of will. You know, maybe something linked to conquerors or something, I don't know. But I thought that was very interesting, and yeah, but then they give us the very shocking news. Luffy did not eat the Gamu Gamu no Mi, he ate the mythical fruit, Cumin model Nika, Sun God. Okay, at first I was very shocked by this. We're over 1,000 chapters into this, and you really want to go and change Luffy's devil fruit now? But hopefully Oda will be able to do something with it to make it believable. And I don't know, this Awaken did seem like a cool power. It just seems a bit of a risky move. We then get a scene between Hiyori and Orochi. And I'm not going to lie, that seemed a bit out of place when we're supposed to be discovering Gear 5th. But it's cool, and I get it, you know, you don't want to rush through the pacing or whatever. So at first, Orochi's kind of just trying to convince Hiyori to be like, "Oh yeah, I loved Oden," and this really made me feel like hate Orochi even more. Like, I already hate Orochi, but this just fueled the fire, and it did for Hiyori too, because then she just starts recounting all the times Orochi betrayed Oden, you know, burning him, making him do the dances, and then we get this really nice scene with Hiyori where she's like, "I am Hiyori Kozuki, and shut your mouth, you Neve," or whatever, and it's really nice, because it shows Hiyori has a lot of pride, which is something that I've realised through this arc, even when she slapped Orochi way back when. Then that little thing that Konjiro created appears and starts coming towards them, and he's like, "Orochi, I failed, I need your help," and Orochi's obviously like, "Kill that gal, this will be your last play." And it made me kind of realise Orochi's almost manipulating Konjiro to a certain extent, because he keeps saying stuff like, "You gotta do this play now, you gotta do this play, come on, you wanna like have a magnificent death, don't you?" So I'm not sure if Konjiro is just like, "I failed, I can't go on," or if he's like betraying Orochi, but he just jumps onto Orochi and starts burning him. Now, Orochi can come back from the dead, obviously, but I think that might be because of his Orochi fruit, so however many heads it has, you've got to kill him that many times. That's what I think, because that would line up with the mythology. But now we get to the good stuff. A giant Luffy hand comes down, grabs Kaido, pulls him up, and spins him around. So yeah, we finally get to see Gear 5th, well, a bit. And based on what it shows, I feel like it kind of allows Luffy to manipulate the surroundings and turn that into rubber. So yeah, that could definitely be used for some interesting stuff. And it seems like he can turn enemies into rubber as well, because Kaido's eyes are like popping out of his head, which isn't something we've seen before really. So yeah, that could be very handy, maybe even a little bit OP. Kaido is about to shoot a Boro breath right at Luffy, and Luffy literally just grabs up the stone and like takes it up and uses it to block. Now, one thing I would say of this, is it still rubber or does it turn back to stone? Because surely rubber would just melt, right? Like it's fire being hit. But yeah, then the final scene of the chapter, we get to see what Luffy's Gear 5th looks like. And I actually really like the design. It's quite simple. I really like the change in hair. And yeah, I like it a lot. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.